Today, I'm going to show you over 100 tips and tricks for Allthemods 10. And if you find just a single tip helpful, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's jump right in. Tip number 1, you can set Journey Map to automatically map the caves beneath you in the settings. If you hit J, you can open up Journey Map, then click the settings button on the bottom. Under the cartography tab, you can find the always map caves button and make sure you check that box. Note that this might cause a little bit of performance issues, so make sure you uncheck it if it's just too much for your PC. Tip number 2, as a pro tip, you can also turn off use cave lighting. This basically makes it whenever caves are mapped, they're full bright. They're not dark like they would normally be, and that makes it much easier to see what's in them. Note that this only works for newly mapped caves, so this is a great tip when you're first starting out. Tip number 3, by holding the tilde button, you can activate Ultimine, which allows you to harvest up to 64 blocks at once. This is great for chopping down entire trees at once or mining an entire ore node. You can also hold shift and the tilde button at the same time, then scroll your mouse wheel to change the type of Ultimine you want to use. There are several great modes, but personally mining tunnel is my favorite in the early game. It just makes a staircase going down, which is great for your first mining adventure. Tip number 4, whenever you've decided a place that you want to call your home, you can do /set home, and whenever you want to teleport back to that one single spot, all you have to do is type in /home. Tip number 5, whenever you do /home, you can teleport back to where you are at with /back. This also works for if you die and you need to get right back to your stuff. Tip number 6, when you die, you get a key to unlock your grave. If /back is on cooldown or it just isn't working, maybe your server has disabled it or something, you can combine the key that you get with an ender pearl, then use the key to teleport right to your grave. Tip number 7, once you have your first crafting table, put it on a stick. The crafting table on a stick is a great item to craft on the go. Make sure to place it in the crafting stick slot in your curios, then you can set a keybind for it by searching for open crafting on a stick in the keybind list. This makes it where you can just craft anywhere you want with a keybind. Tip number 8, whenever you get your hands on enough copper, make a copper ore hammer to double your raw ores. This hammer will smash a raw ore into 2 dust, which can be smelted into ingots. The copper one really doesn't last that long, so the pro tip here is actually to use the platinum once you have some to make yourself a platinum ore hammer. Tip number 9, to make building much easier, especially in the early game, you can make a construction stick. These work just like construction wands if you ever use those. When you hold it in your hand and look at a block, it will place a bunch of blocks down all at once for you. So when you right click on a face, it will basically extend those blocks in whatever direction that you're pointing, as long as you have the blocks in your inventory. Tip number 10, if you hold a block in your offhand when you're using the construction stick, it will use that block instead whenever you're extending a block on a face. This is absolutely fantastic for placing a bunch of ores down all at once. Tip number 11, while there are different tiers of construction sticks, you can also upgrade them using the battery upgrade or the unbreakable upgrade. The battery upgrade will make it where it'll use power instead of durability, whereas the unbreakable upgrade makes it where it never breaks. These are both added using a smithing table. Tip number 12, do you not like building your first starter base and you're like me and you kind of suck at it? You can use a supply camp or a supply ship from the Mine Colonies mod to make your own starter base. There are plenty to choose from, and some of them even come with hidden treasures like blocks of gold or diamond. You can craft one of these, but you can only use it once. If you don't really like the one that you picked, but you've already placed it down, you won't be able to craft another one, so you'll have to find a free one inside of loot chests like in villages. Tip number 13, when you're in a village, you can sneak right click to pick up a villager. Allthemods 10 has the Easy Villagers mod, which makes building a trading hall much easier. Go ahead and make yourself a trader block, then put down the villager in the trader block with their workstation for an easy 1-block trader solution. Tip number 14, if you have at least 1 villager, you can make an iron farm to make infinite iron over time. Craft and then place down the iron farm, then place in the villager to activate it. It's kind of slow, but it will passively generate around 1 iron ingot per minute. That's why you just make a bunch of them. Tip number 15, maybe the sound of an iron golem dying in your base is getting annoying. You can mute any sound by clicking this button in your inventory and clicking the muffle button on the side. By default, the list will show the most recent sounds that you've heard. You can also search up any sound that you really just don't want to hear anymore. Tip number 16, almost every single village you visit will have a waystone. These are basically teleporting stones that allow you to teleport to any other waystone that you've activated. You can break these with a pickaxe and use them for your own base. or teleporting between the different dimensions. Tip number 17, when you're looting a village, keep an eye out for the infinite ham relic. It almost looks like a piece of chalk with like a little magnifying glass at the bottom right of it. It's really easy to miss, and trust me, I know this because I've missed plenty. This relic is basically infinite food in a single item. To activate it, you need to hover over it and hold shift to open up the research menu. Then you want to click on the abilities at the bottom. You click on the first ability, then connect the stars on the left side to unlock it. Tip number 18, don't feel like figure out which stars actually connect? Me neither. Click the light bulb at the bottom of the relic menu to spend some of your experience to solve it for you. And if you need a bunch of experience, just turn in your quests. There's a quest for everything. Tip number 19, villages have modded buildings in them as well. The trick here is that you want to keep an eye out for the buildings that have compressed bricks either as the flooring or as part of the roof. These are pneumatic craft buildings, which can have advanced pressure pipes in the chests inside it. These are needed to make the Alfthemods star. Tip number 20, when you are in your inventory screen, you can hit T to open up the trash slot. With this active, you can drag items into the slot to delete them. You can also press the delete key to delete the item stack that you're hovering over. Or if you hold shift and delete at the same time, it'll delete all stacks of that single item type. This is great when you're mining and your inventory fills with a ton of cobblestone and you don't really need it. Tip number 21, with your crafting table open, you can press the keybind K to compress a stack of an item into its block form. This works great for converting things like copper ingots into blocks to use for ore hammers. If you hold shift and press K at the same time, it will compress all of the stacks of an item into a block as well. Tip number 22, one of the first things you should make when you get redstone is a pocket storage. These work just like danks for those who have used them before. When you open it, you can set the items that you want the pocket storage to collect for you automatically. The first tier will only hold up to 255 of 8 different items, which makes it great for the different stone types that you'll find in the beginning while you're mining. Note that any items past the storage limit will automatically be voided in here. So to increase the storage limit, all you have to do is make the next tier. Tip number 23, once you have some redstone, you can upgrade your chests by converting them into sophisticated storage chests. This can be done by combining a crafted chest with a redstone torch, or you can make the basic tier upgrades. And all you got to do is use these upgrades directly on the chests in the world. These chests can be upgraded to metal tiers and can also have upgrades installed in them like stack upgrades. And yes, you can put 2 metal chests next to each other to make a double iron or better chest. Tip number 24, when you're searching for a specific item in an inventory, you can actually type the item name into JEI, then double click the search box to turn on highlight mode. This will highlight the item for you if it's in that inventory. You can also right click on the search box in JEI to completely clear everything that you've typed. Special shout out to Volt the Insane for asking me to add that tip. Tip number 25, if and when you decide that you need to move, which we all know we do this, moving chests can kind of be a pain. But not anymore, because you can craft the packing tape and use it on a chest to easily move it. This will wrap the chests or double chests in tape, then you can break it to pick it up as a single item. Once you place the chest back down, it will remove the tape entirely and you can open it up just like normal. Tip number 26, if you have a ton of a single type of item you want to store, don't store it in a chest. You're just taking up extra slots. Make a drawer from the functional storage mod. These can store a ton of a single item if you're using the 1x1 drawers, or it can store 2 of a bunch of items in the 1x2 or 4 types of items with the 2x2 drawers. Stacks of items can easily be placed in all at once just by double right clicking on a drawer, and this will make unloading from a mining trip much easier. Tip number 27, tired of having to craft nuggets or blocks of items by hand? You can make a compacting drawer to do the work for you. By placing in a nugget of the item type that you want, say an iron or gold nugget, it will automatically convert it to both ingots and blocks for you. For items like redstone that really only have block forms, you can make simple compacting drawers instead. These are great for items like diamonds, redstone, glowstone, certus, pretty much everything else that isn't iron or gold. Tip number 28, once you get a decent amount of drawers going for items, you're probably not going to want to sit here and right click each drawer. So this is when you need to make a storage controller and a linking tool. The storage controller doesn't have to be touching a drawer to link to it, which is why you need to use a linking tool. I'm sure a lot of you already know how how to use the storage controller to link up to your drawers. But here's the pro tip that you might not know. If you sneak right click onto the controller, you can install upgrades into it. This might not seem much at first, but it actually gets kind of crazy. It pretty much covers your entire base if you use it this way, which means you can link drawers all over your base and just have a completely wireless drawer setup for a storage room. Tip number 29. Functional storage also has fluid drawers, but the cool part about them is that they have special upgrades like the dripping upgrade. This can be installed in a fluid drawer to make infinite lava over time. Tip number 30. Once you've made some of the dripping upgrades, you can also make the obsidian upgrades for your regular drawers. This will passively make obsidian over time. Tip number 31. The best on-the-go storage solution is always going to be a sophisticated backpack. You can upgrade these to the metal tiers just like the sophisticated chests, and they can even be upgraded with stack upgrades and plenty of really cool upgrades that I love. Tip number 32. If you want to never worry about eating again, just take and make the feeding upgrade for your backpack. Of course, you're going to have some kind of food, so bonus tip, couple this with either the everlasting beef or the infinite ham, and you will never have to worry about eating ever again. Tip number 33. Leather is kind of a pain, and we need leather to make backpacks. The tip here is to go out and make yourself a drying basin from Integrated Dynamics. This will take and convert your rotten flesh and dry it into leather over time. Tip number 34. One of my favorite ways to transfer a ton of items is actually by using the deposit upgrade for your backpack. I normally set up a mining backpack that has a magnet upgrade to collect everything while I'm mining. Then when I get back to base, I can use the deposit upgrade to deposit everything into my drawer system all at once. Tip number 35. If you're going through the quest line, you're going to get a ton of rewards. Even if you're not going through the quest line, you get a ton of rewards. You literally just fly over places and it's like, hey, congratulations, quest complete. My personal suggestion would be to set up a backpack with a magnet upgrade. Place it down and then use this button in the top right of your quest screen to accept everything all at once. When your inventory gets full and the quest items drop on the ground, the backpack will catch everything for you, hopefully. Tip number 36. Not lucky enough to find the infinite ham or the everlasting steak? Make the juicer from Pam's Harvest Craft and combine that with 3 apples in a crafting table. This will make you fruit punch, which is literally the best food to make. This is actually what I used in the entirety of my speedrun because I'm blind and didn't see the infinite ham. I'm really bad at the game. Tip number 37. There are a ton of cool potion effects in the pack, and you can make most of them infinite by using an infusion pylon. You can go ahead and make the infusion pylon, but you'll also need the potion filter to make things work. Then get the effect you would like to make infinite. For example, you can easily give yourself infinite night vision by just making some night vision potions that last for about 8 minutes each. You drink one, then you right click with the filter in your hand and it will absorb the night vision effect onto the filter. Just repeat this until you have 60 minutes worth of the effect onto the card and it'll tell you when it's done. Then take and put that into the infusion pylon. As long as the infusion pylon is chunk loaded, it will give you the effect infinitely. Tip number 38. Using the infusion pylon, you can make infinite creative flight pretty easily by making potions of flying. It only takes 3 potions in total to make enough for the infinite effect. You will need some phantom membrane and some pop cores to make these, but it's actually pretty cheap to make overall, especially for infinite creative flight. Tip number 39. If you need temporary flight and you can't really make the infinite flight potions, you can use a balloon on a stick from Zycraft. When you place this down, you'll get connected to this lead and you'll have creative flight as long as you stay within about 8 blocks from the post. Tip number 40. If you're looking for a specific sapling or seed, make the market. When you place it down, this guy falls from the sky, breaks his leg, and then he'll sell you pretty much any food seed that you want for the price of 1 emerald. As a pro tip, you can buy aloe seeds from them, and this can be used to make infinite slime balls. Tip number 41. Looking to get honey without having to wait for bees to make the honey for you? Use an ender pearl on a beehive to teleport to the Bumblezone. Not only is this place pretty cool, but you'll find basically infinite combs everywhere and honey blocks. It's super easy to grab honey here. Tip number 42. While in the Bumblezone, you want to keep an eye out for the hanging garden structure. Within one of the platforms, you can find the crystalline flower. This can easily just be broken, and make sure you grab the crystal block that it was planted on as well. When you plant this flower down, it has to be planted on a crystal type block, whether you're using the honey crystals that you just broke, or it could be using amethyst blocks, whatever you decide to use. The cool part about this flower is that when you open it up, you can give it experience and a book and choose from almost any of the enchantments available in the pack for just the cost of some experience. This is amazing. Tip number 43. One of the best enchantments to get is called Nature's Blessing. It might not look like much, but when you put this onto a hoe, you can instantly bone meal any crop for the cost of durability. But if you put it on a hoe that doesn't break, you can just bone meal things infinitely. Like that aloe I was talking about earlier. You just infinitely bone meal it and you have infinite slime because all you got to do is right click. Tip number 44. Using the crystalline flower, you should grab the Decrepitude enchant for your weapons. This enchant will cause mobs to kind of bleed a percentage of their health over time. This is really good for beefy mobs like the Warden or the Piglich. Tip number 45. If you want to find a specific biome, you want to make the Nature's Compass. When you open this up and use it, it will allow you to search for any biome in the pack and will point you in the direction of the nearest one. Tip number 46. One of the best pickaxes to make in the early game is the steam drill from Modern Industrialization. Now trust me, I know MI sounds scary. This is really not that bad. This drill never breaks. It has a silk touch mode that you can toggle on and off, and it can mine in a 3x3 area by default. It's only powered by coal. To put coal into it, you just pick up the coal and then right click on your steam drill and put it in. And then all you have to do is have a bucket of water in your inventory. That's it. That's all there is to it. And you can use it anytime you want. The recipe might look a little crazy. You really only need a little bit of copper, iron, and some diamonds to make everything. Tip number 47. You can break and move spawners with any pickaxe with silk touch, including the steam drill. Steam drill is pretty good, man. Tip number 48. While silk touch is pretty great for grabbing certain blocks can't really be broken with the enchant like the button blocks from AE2. Instead, make yourself a cardboard box to move them around. This only takes 4 sawdust to make, which brings me to tip number 49. Don't use the sawmill for mechanism to make sawdust. You're wasting your resources. Instead, make the sawmill from productive trees. This is a much cheaper recipe that doesn't require power, and it converts logs directly into sawdust. Tip number 50. The extractors from Zycraft have to be one of my favorite machines to get infinite amounts of some of the niche resources. Using these, you can get things like flux dust from a charged redstone crystal block, dragon eggs, skystone dust, Certus dust from flawless budding Certus blocks, and so many other things. You need to check these out. Tip number 51. One of my favorite ways to collect liquids in the early game is actually by using a basic fluid tank from Mechanism. While holding it in your hand, you can scroll your mouse wheel to set it to bucket mode, which will allow you to scoop up to I think it's 32 blocks worth of liquid in the beginning. You can also sneak right click in bucket mode to place down a bucket of fluid into the world, or you can turn off bucket mode and just place it down so you can extract from it. Tip number 52. You're going to be finding condensed blood in chests, so make sure you pick these up because these can be placed in any type of fluid storage to convert it into blood. The basic fluid tank even has a slot for you to put them into, and this will deposit all of the blood at once. Tip number 53. Why do you need all of that blood? Because EvilCraft has one of the easiest ways to get the Fortune 5 enchant by making the Vengeance pickaxe. You'll need to make a blood infuser first, which requires drying some blood in that drying basin we made earlier, and then smelting the dried block afterwards in a furnace. To make the blood infusion core, you'll need 5 buckets of blood and place them into the world. Then throw a dark gem into them and it will suck up the blood and turn it into a dark power gem. Once you have the blood infuser using the dark power gem, give it some more blood and then throw in a dead bush to convert it into an undead sapling. Take your hoe that has Nature's Blessing on it and insta grow the sapling, then break it down and use the logs to make dark sticks. Now you should have everything you need to make the Vengeance pickaxe with some diamonds and dried blood shards. Tip number 54. You can remove any enchant off using a simple trick. All you need to do is take the item with the enchants on it, throw it down and some books onto a block of obsidian, then drop an anvil on top of all of them. This will strip the enchant off. So strip that Fortune 5 enchant off the Vengeance pickaxe and put it on your own pickaxe. Tip number 55. EvilCraft also has an easy looting 2 enchant, which you can get by making Vein Sword. patterns. Tip number 56. You might have noticed that there aren't many boss mobs in the world spawning like the previous versions of the AlfredGG packs. This is because Apotheosis has changed the way their system works. If you press Ctrl T, you can open up the world tiers page. Each stage increases the rarity of items found and will give you some extra stats like luck or experience gain. To unlock the stages, you can press L to open up the advancements page and look for the Apothic World Tiers tab, which has a little skull on it to make it easy. Here you can find out the requirements to unlock the next stage. Pro tip, just pretty much equip every single rarity type that you find in every armor slot and including your weapon slot. You'll also need to kill the Ender Dragon, the Wither, and an Invader. Tip number 57. Osmium is still one of the best metals to use to make tools and armor with, especially in the early game. In Allthemods 10, however, you will need at least a diamond pickaxe to mine it. Tip number 58. The Osmium Paxel is one of the highest damage dealing weapons in the pack, with a base of 14 attack damage. It also makes for a great all-in-one tool. Tip 59. If you're out mining and your diamonds keep dropping into lava, make a simple magnet to suck it in before it gets destroyed. As a pro tip, you can also set a keybind to toggle the magnet on and off. Tip number 60. Furnaces can be upgraded to metal tiers all the way to unobtainium, thanks to the mod Iron Furnace. This makes them a little faster with each upgrade. It also gives them access to even more upgrades using augments. Tip number 61. While the Iron Furnaces work really fast at the higher tiers, you can smelt things even faster by making a simple blasting setup using Create. You'll need an encased fan, a water wheel, a chute, a chest, and a bucket of lava. Start by placing down the fan, then connecting the water wheel to the back of it. To the right of the water wheel, place down a bucket of water so that it starts spinning the wheel to the right. You can step in front of the fan and see if it blows you away. This is important. Now in front of the fan, you want to place down 2 blocks on each side like this, and then a pressure plate in front of that block space. This empty block right here is where you'll put the lava. I also suggest on covering everything up with blocks so that it doesn't set everything else on fire from the lava. Next, in front of that pressure plate, place down a chute so that items will fall right in front of that pressure plate. You can place down a chest on top of the chute, and whenever you need items to smelt, just throw them in the chest and watch the magic happen. As a pro tip, you can smelt down blocks of raw ores all at once using this, and it's so good. Tip number 62. Redstone can be a pain sometimes to find, but you can search for the Redstone Caves biome using a nature's compass to find all of the redstone you might ever need, at least for the early game. The blocks and stone you find in this biome can be smelted down or directly converted into redstone. Want to smelt it all down fast? Use the Create Blast setup. Tip number 63. If you're looking for one of the easiest ways to make a decent amount of power in the early game, the wind generators from Mechanism have their default values for now as of posting this video, meaning they're pretty strong overall, as long as they don't nerf it. This makes it a great choice for your first power source and can even charge items in the interface. Tip number 64. When using most Mechanism machines like the Metallurgic Confuser, maybe you're trying to make the wind generator, you can put redstone directly into the energy slot to give it power. This makes it where you don't actually have to have a power source to begin with, especially if you're trying to make the wind generators in the early game. Tip number 65. If you haven't gotten flight yet, even though we've talked about several ways to get it, the easiest way to get flight in the early game is by making a jetpack. This starts with the wooden tiers, but can easily be upgraded to fly much faster and much longer. Tip number 66. Once you have power going, you can upgrade your iron furnaces with a factory augment. This converts the furnace to use power instead of coal and will increase the amount of items it can smelt at the same time. Tip number 67. The pipes from the pipes mod is one of the easiest ways to get into early game automation. Each type of pipe is really easy to make and can help you create simple automated setups like converting flesh into leather using the drying basin. Tip number 68. If you want to wirelessly charge your jetpack but haven't gotten into Flux networks yet, you can make a player transmitter from Powa. The most expensive part about this recipe in the early game is needing the 1 ender pearl. You'll need to make the transmitter and a binding card to place inside of it. Before any of this works, you need to hold the binding card in your hand and then right click to set ownership of it. Then you can put it in the transmitter and give the transmitter some power. This will make it where the transmitter will power your stuff wherever you're at in that dimension. But if you want it to work across dimensions, all you gotta do is use the binding card on an enderman and then place it back in for wireless power across all dimensions. Tip number 69. 79. You can wirelessly power machines in an area using the energy transmitter from Just Dire Things. This is amazing to use for things like farms using the growth accelerators for AE2. Just one of these can power an entire 5x5 area. Tip number 70. If you're needing ender pearls in the early game, one of the best places to get them is in this dungeon right here. Each one of these dungeons has a ton of loot, and the chests can come with several ender pearls in each. Tip number 71. Make sure to use the gates from the Gateways to Eternity mod. If you complete just one gate, you will be swimming in mob drops for a good while. I personally suggest on making your first gate the Enderman gate, which requires about 5 ender pearls and 1 blaze powder. Most of the other gates require an ender pearl, so by defeating the Enderman gate, you will have plenty to use. Tip number 72. Spawners can be upgraded to be much better using specific items. If you want to know which items are needed to upgrade them, just search for a spawner in JEI and then hit U to look at all of the items. In Allthemodium 10, there is a new upgrade called Echoing that makes the mobs drop even more loot. Tip number 73. You can change the mob that spawns from a spawner by using a spawn egg on it. The easiest way to get a spawn egg is by using the mod Mob Grinding Utilities. You want to make a mob swab first, then swab the mob that you want to make an egg for. Combine this with a seed, a bucket of experience, and the swab, and it'll give you chicken feed. You feed this to a chicken and it will give you the mob egg that you need. Tip number 74. The experience holder from Just Dire Things is the best way to store and collect experience from your mob farms. You can open up the interface and set the area that you want to collect the experience at, and make sure you click on the collect experience button to toggle it on and off. It's also one of the easiest ways to get a bucket of experience from. Tip number 75. One of the best spawners that you can get is a cave creeper spawner. When killed, these guys drop diamonds, emeralds, raw iron, and raw gold. This is actually what I use to get all the gold needed for the AlfredGG star. Tip number 76. If you can't find a specific mob for your farm, like the cave creeper, make the rotten egg from the Mob Grinding Utilities mod. You can make this by making the cursed chicken feed first, then feeding that to a chicken to get the rotten egg. In the overworld, you can find a dark place and put a 5x5 dirt floor on it. Make sure it's dark, then when you use the rotten egg on the dirt, it will convert it over into dreadful dirt, which will increase the natural spawn rate of hostile mobs on the dirt. You can toggle the spawning on and off by placing down a torch. Note that this does not work in the mining dimension. Tip number 77. One simple trick to making the dreadful dirt faster is by giving it a fast redstone pulse. You can do this by making a redstone clock. Just run some redstone underneath the dreadful dirt and then set it up with a lever. This can be great for an early game mob farm. Tip number 78. If you want to stop all hostile mobs from naturally spawning around your base, make a mega torch. If you want all passive mobs to stop spawning, make a dread lamp, or just live in the mining dimension. Tip number 79. You can easily light up dark spaces in your base by using a feral flare lantern. When placed, this will automatically place down phantom light sources to light up any dark spots near it. Tip number 80. To speed up your farmland, make sure you use red fertilizer on the farmland and then surround the crops with growth accelerators from AE2. Tip number 81. If you need an infinite source of water for machines in the early game, the easiest thing you can make is a sink. Tip number 82. If you are making a large farm with lily pads and you're tired of having to scoop up water over and over, make the eternal water bucket using Evilcraft. To do this, you need to start by making an empty weather container, then find yourself a dark temple. These are everywhere and are super easy to find. Throw the empty weather container into the beam that's in the middle. Then with the item that it gives you, craft up the rain weather container by combining it with water buckets. This can be used to make the eternal water bucket, which is essentially an infinite water bucket. Tip number 83. Once you have the ability to make the weather containers, you can also make the eternal water blocks as well using those same rain weather containers. These are much better to use than sinks for infinite water for things like machines. That's because these will automatically push out the max amount of water that it can handle into the block that it's connected to without the need of pipes. Tip number 84. If you haven't made the Explorer's Compass yet to locate structures, you can find several important structures using the Rs Locate ritual. I actually use this to find the ancient city in the early game. The most important items that you'll need to make the ritual stuff is a vexing log, about 6 or so source gems, and some amethyst. Tip number 85. You can use a cutting board to break down blocks into crystals, like breaking amethyst down into shards or quartz quartz from smooth quartz blocks. Tip number 86, you can make an infinite source generator in the early game for ours just by using snad, a redstone clock, and some cactus. Place down your redstone clock, and then a couple blocks above it, put just any block that you have. Now you can place snad around each side of the redstone clock, and on the side we're going to set up some kind of collection for the cactus. For me, I'm just going to use a drawer with a basic item collector put on top, and I'm going to increase the range to make sure that it grabs all the cactus that's going to be growing. Make sure that you put a void upgrade into the drawer if you're going to do this, and this will keep it from overflowing. Now all you have to do is place down your cactus, your agronomic source link, and your source jar, and you have infinite early game source. Tip number 87. Let's be honest with each other, you're probably going to want to make that explorer's compass eventually. Use the R's locate structure ritual to find the ancient city. This can easily be done by activating the ritual with a deep slate brick. Once you get the compass and follow it to the ancient city, inside of the chest of the ancient city, you'll find plenty of echo shards that you can use to make the explorer's compass. You'll also find some really good enchants, and if you're lucky, the night vision goggles in the chest. Tip number 88. Using that same steam drill, you can mine up the skulk, shriekers, and catalysts while you're there. You should definitely do this anyway because these are needed for some in-game recipes. So it's great to grab this while you're already there. Tip number 89. You know what else is in the ancient city? Allthemodium ore. The ancient city is the best place to find allthemodium ore in the overworld, but you can also find it in any of the deep dark biomes. It's not as easy to find, but this is something that I actually didn't know. Tip number 90. Allthemodium can be mined with more than just a netherite pickaxe. You can use the steam drill or an inferior pickaxe. Tip number 91. Use your first piece of allthemodium to make a teleport pad. When you place this in the overworld and sneak right click on it with empty hands, both hands have to be empty, it will teleport you to the mining dimension. This is definitely the best place to find allthemodium as well as pretty much every ore in the game, except for unobtainium, I guess. Tip number 92. The best Y level to mine in the mining dimension is around Y level 112. At this level, you can find allthemodium, you can find coal, diamonds, copper, gold, iron, lapis, redstone. There's so many ores you can find at this level. It's my personal favorite. Tip number 93. If you're having trouble finding a specific ore while you're mining, like allthemodium, you can make Oresight potions from the mod Potions Master. This can be a great way to find a ton of whatever ore that you're looking for. To do this, you'll need to make the mortar and pestle from the mod first. Next, you want to crush down an ender pearl using the mortar and pestle in a crafting table. Then you'll combine the raw ore that you want to make the potion for, in this case a raw allthemodium ore. You'll combine this with the mortar, the pestle, the ender powder, and a piece of redstone and glowstone. This will give you a powder that you'll pretty much need to run through a blast furnace, and then you can combine it with mundane potions to make the Oresight potions. Tip number 94. Don't drink any of the potions, because if you made 3, you can combine 3 potions with 6 blaze powders to make a charm. This will give you the effect of the Oresight potions that you can toggle on and off whenever you need it. Tip number 95. If you use the teleport pad in the nether, you can teleport to the other. This place does have some of the best in-game loot, but it is also very dangerous. In Allthemods 10, thankfully, you can fly here. Tip number 96. Using the teleport pad in the end will teleport you to the beyond. This is a great place to go if you're a fan of doing skyblock style worlds, as this is pretty much a void world with a single block. Tip number 97. The building gadget is the builder's best friend. That's why it's called the building gadget. It's right there in the name. It is great to use for building your house, but the best tip that I can tell you with this is that you can use this to build out multi-blocks like from extreme reactors. You can open up the menu, and my keybind is G. You might have to go and find it in your keybind settings, and set it to specific sizes to help you build out any of the multi-blocks. You can also use the copy paste gadget to copy multi-blocks over, and this works great for copying over multi-blocks like the thermal evaporation towers. Tip number 98. The exchanging gadget isn't just used for exchanging blocks for builders. This can also be used to instantly grab a bunch of obsidian all at once. Basically, all you need to do is place down a block that you have a ton of, let's say cobblestone, sneak right click with the gadget in your hand on the cobblestone to set it, then head to the end. Now you can open up the settings menu, set it to surface, and turn the slider all the way up, and then right click on the obsidian on the towers to instantly just get all of the obsidian without having to spend the time to break it. It's so nice. Tip number 99. The destruction gadget is an amazing gadget because it not only makes giant holes if you want to build underground, it also doesn't destroy any of the allthemodium ores like allthemodium, vibranium, allthemodium or unobtainium. This makes it amazing to use to find things like unobtainium in the end. Tip number 100. The destruction gadget will also not destroy chests unless you toggle it in the settings. This means that you can use it to destroy entire villages or bastions so you can loot just the chests without having to deal with all the mobs. Tip number 101. For the final tip, one of the easiest ways to get infinite dragon's breath is by using a dragon's head and an extractor. In the inn, locate an inn city and look for the ship, the same one that you find in Elytra Inn. At the very front of the ship, you'll find a dragon's head. That is over 100 tips and tricks you can use in Allthemods 10. If any of these help you, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!